And I think it's something that needs to be highlighted of how great it could be. So,
And
like
that's
I
right,
said,
because
I want
remember back in the days, the women didn't have a market. Like it was nobody really clamoring for some women's division or women. The women are getting ratings now. I mean, they're already main event at WrestleMania. They're already main event, and even we getting them in Saudi shows now. You know what I mean? They're wrestling in Saudi Arabia. Like so, it's a market for the women. They might as well go on and get some money, make some money now.
absolutely. But let's see what Bailey had to say regarding this whole thing, and let's see what happens. We're gonna play what Bailey had to say. So let's see what she had to say regarding this title. 'Cause this has been talked about for quite some time, and that it very well could happen.
One of the things that he said was that he's looking for the Intercontinental Championship and the United States. I spoke to Solo thanks to the guys at Sony, and one of the things that he said was that he's looking for the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship again for the visual of everyone carrying the gold in the bloodline. Do you think the women need a Intercontinental Championship or a United States Championship as well?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It would be nice to have another title, but I think it's just going to take time. You know, when we wanted those women's tag team titles, it took a long time, and it took someone actually fighting for them. So if that's what we want, someone has to stand up for it and really fight for it and prove that it's going to be a benefit to the division.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was Bayley. She's on Sportskeeda. This was dated back to a year ago, actually, a little over a year ago. I think this was back in if I had to guess, let me get my calendar correct. This was back in, yeah, I think it was a little over a year ago. And she talks about how that they need to add a women's title, and she says it's gonna take time and work. And she mentioned how, she was the catalyst along with Sasha Banks of how to the women's tag team titles we talking about now as well took some work. She says it's gonna take some time. So thing about it is, while we talking about it, I think it very well may happen now that Bailey's talking about it. It very well may happen now. Very well may happen. You never know. But with that being said, Goodbread, how do you feel what Bailey said about the women's having a secondary championship, TV or Intercontinental or both?
Man, I agree with her. Like I said, I agree. I think they should definitely have one more mid-card title, just one. You know what I mean? Whether it's the IC or the television title, it'd give more meaning to the matches that they have on these shows. Now, it's not gonna hurt. It's not. We have two brands. You have SmackDown and you have Raw. You know what I mean? You could have them go like the same way they defend the tag team titles with cross brands. You have them defend the mid card title cross brands. You know what I mean? It's only going to provide more quality, better quality matches and better quality TV. And the women, the women that deserve to be highlighted will be highlighted because it's not enough. It's not enough. They don't even use the Money in the Bank for the women's. They don't even use that properly. Like every last Money in the Bank winner has cashed in the same night or the next day. Like it's like, you know what I mean? They can make so much out of the storyline, but they just got to be more creative with it. But definitely the mid card title should be there. They need to bring a mid card title for these ladies. These Think about it. Just last year, the women's division, did not look like how it looked today. You remember the last time they tried to really do something with the women's division, they moved around Ronda Rousey, who is never the greatest women's wrestler ever anyway. Like, so it's like they tried to take it and do it with a fraud. We have real women wrestlers now. Let's try it out. Let's try that same blueprint, but with these women that we have that are talented, like really talented, not so much big names yet, but their talent to make them a big name.
Yeah, you said some very key points in there. How the women's division in 1 year went from very average to top tier, and how they could really showcase the women's talent. Look, we got Zoe Stark, Natalia, Candice LeRae. We got her on the screen, Indy Hartwell, you know, Shayna Baszler, of course. These women could very well be highlighted. Mia Yim, they very well could be highlighted to becoming, a great secondary championship. And not just that, I think the secondary championship could also set them up in the future as well. It could very set them up. It could make them, I don't know, it could make them very well be a future champion. It could very well be a future champion. It could be a stepping stone to the WWE Women's World Championship, similar to how the Men's Intercontinental Championship will go to right now, or the United States Championship. This could be the women's version of that. They could be a future world champion. People that are women that are now highlighted now, the depth could be highlighted with these titles or title. I think this could be a great title for that. And it could be great, like you said, for the ratings and great for the fans.
That's a fact. Think about it. Think about it, bro. We went from Ronda Rousey, Mickey James, Iconics, Dewdrop, Nikki Cross, and nothing against those wrestlers, but the characters I'm talking about. So we went from that to we actually have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Charlotte is hurt. Charlotte, man, we can keep naming them. Like we can keep Becky, Bayley. We have all of these names now, all in one roster. Like that was a level up. Now I got a question for you though, KD, TBK. If we did have an women's IC title championship today, who would you give it to? Who would you don it? Who would you put it on?
If I had to choose right now, the first champion, and she's one of my favorite wrestlers, I would say Natalia. Natalia would be the first person on my list because she's been putting work for years. She showcased what a women's wrestler should be, her great work ethic, and also how she can definitely make the title look good. Not the title making her look good, she makes the title look good. If understand what I'm saying by that. And I think she will be perfect to be the inaugural champion. So if I choose, I would say Natalia.
I cannot deny that, bro. I can't. That's one of those. The only thing AEW got right was putting the strap on Jericho first. That's right, though. I would put it on Natalia. I would put it on her and give her a nice little run.
Absolutely, man. She deserves it, man. She's been putting work for years. I would love for her to have a women's world title, but if they're not going to do that with her, you can at least make her a mid-card champion. At least do that. I think that'll only be fair to do that.
You're right. Now, if I was going off of the actual who put in work this year, if I was going over the year that just passed, for me, I would put that IC title on Shotzi Blackheart. She was the worker.
Yeah, that's her right there. Shotzi.
Yep. Her and between her and Bayley. See, Bayley is going for the world's title, so we gotta leave Bayley out of it. But they were the workhorse. They was the workhorse. While Rhea and Io was sitting pretty, the workers in the women's division was Bayley and Shotzi.
And don't forget Zoe Stark did her thing too. Zoe Stark, I can't leave her out. Zoe too.
Yeah, I can't leave Zoe out. She came on at the end. She came on there at the end.
At the very end, the tail end, yep. Well, it'd be a good way to, good way to showcase the women's division. Now my question too, what they can do is, since you say you prefer one mid-card championship, not two, because you will narrow it down to one. What could happen is, it's a possibility. What if they just, they could very well put the secondary title on